NCIS universe shakes things up, fan favorites, new beginnings, and shocking cancellations. The NCIS franchise has fans buzzing with major updates. NCIS Origins stirs mixed reactions with its underwhelming Mike Franks backstory in Episode 5 and a non-cliché-driven plot in Episode 6. Meanwhile, NCIS Sydney gears up for Season 2, with exciting reveals about the cast, premiere dates, and streaming options. In a surprising twist, CBS announced the cancellation of NCIS Hawaii, leaving fans wondering about the network's direction. Will NCIS Origins delve into young versions of Gibbs' iconic team? And for die-hard fans, a unique filming update on the highly anticipated NCIS Tony and Ziva sparks excitement. Adding to the emotional roller coaster, the departure of a long-standing cast member, featured in over 300 episodes, has left a void that's hard to fill. With so much happening, the NCIS universe is more dynamic than ever. Don't miss the full story behind these game-changing updates. Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel show's update. Review of NCIS Origins Season 1, Episode 6, a plot that doesn't go far enough into clichés. Incognito from NCIS Origins Season 1, Program 6 repeatedly refers to being in a box. The program aims to explore the challenges faced by Lala Dominguez as a female NIS agent in 1991. Unfortunately, in 2024, that narrative is less compelling. Additionally, there is a far stronger theory behind that is never revealed. Incognito is supposedly about a petty officer who was murdered after he took confidential documents from his workplace. The episode first concentrates on Lala's personal issues before Leroy Jethro Gibbs goes undercover for the first time, so the case of the week is mostly window dressing. Out of these concepts, only one fully takes off. Despite its excellent intentions, the plot fails to produce any tangible outcomes. Lala is presented with a weary dilemma in NCIS Origins Season 1, Episode 6. The show depends on another overused premise at this stage of the season. NCIS Origins has made use of several plot points or story points that are well known to viewers of television crime dramas. Incognito comes after Last Rites, the 5th episode of Season 1, which had a highly predictable story about a killer in prison playing with Mike Franks. Although the authors should be commended for their attempt to develop Lala Dominguez's character, it is disheartening that they do it in such a blatant manner. Stories concerning the challenges of being a woman in a world dominated by men have been widely presented to audiences, and not just in crime dramas. Numerous other female characters have also been given this storyline at some point. Since Origins has demonstrated that it wishes to experiment with the disparate mindsets that prevailed in the early 1990s, when the program is set, there is a bit of a catch-22. In All's Not Lost, the 4th episode of Season 1, viewers witnessed that when Franks assured Mary Jo Hayes that she would be able to connect with a witness since they were both black. However, Incognito is more awkward than captivating, even when considering the historical period. From having a random encounter to get away from her troubles to hearing chauvinistic remarks in the locker room, Lala has to deal with cliché after cliché. People end up speaking for her a lot, which is another odd aspect. Later, Vera Strickland delivers Lala an almost embarrassing monologue on fitting in, after older Gibbs recounts how Lala informed him how she felt about her life. The episode ends just as Lala is about to say her crucial part, which is to confess to her lover Eddie that she cheated on him with the man she met at a nightclub. These decisions ultimately serve to strengthen the bad concepts that the episode is meant to challenge. The issue is not that sexism couldn't occur in the early NCIS episodes, rather, it's the way the topic is handled. And may Lala have received a less cliched story? Episode 6 of NCIS Origins reveals a powerful Gibbs story. The undercover aspect provides interesting moments. Incognito would have been better served by concentrating on its secondary plot, which involves Gibbs's first undercover mission for NIS and his lack of skill in it. His lack of expertise gives this section of the novel a fresh feel. Even if Lala's story is unsatisfying, the episode gets credit for not introducing needless sexual tension by utilizing the fact that she and Gibbs are pretending to be a relationship. Instead, the audience witnesses her attempting to educate him on the numerous minor nuances he is unaware of. Giving TV characters the chance to develop is fantastic, particularly in a series when the characters are supposedly just starting out in their careers. This may have been 2 episodes for NCIS, Origins, one about Gibbs failing or almost failing the undercover mission, and another about Lala. The latter works because the audience can understand the mistakes made. He doesn't abruptly lose his sense of direction to further the plot. Furthermore, he is not the only one who makes mistakes. As is common in every TV crime thriller, when an outside agency enters the scene, the FBI agents are primarily there to irritate the team, but it is their fault that the NIS agents aren't carrying the appropriate amount of cash. Additionally, rather than whining about the issue his guys caused, the lead FBI agent at least makes an effort to assist in fixing it. Fans also get to see Cliff Wheeler outside of his office because the bureau has to be brought in. "You're going to give us what you've got, or I'm going to have a whole lot to say about what happened in '86, said Cliff Wheeler to an FBI agent. Mike Franks, what on earth took place in 1986? Season 1, Episode 6 is a learning experience for Gibbs, and a chance for Lala to mentor him a little bit more. It's disappointing that after the genuine bonding moment they had at the end of Last Rites, when she told him about his psych eval, Incognito undercuts them by having her suggest that Gibbs was only overprotective of her because she's a woman. Their covert sequences are examples of how they improve one another. Although NCIS, Origins is making an effort to give each character their own turn to shine, Gibbs is currently receiving the most chances to truly change. NCIS, Origins has another easy resolution. A dangerous habit that NCIS, Origins is forming is skipping over or rushing through plot points in order to get them out of the way. This is the case of the week that fades into the background. That's not a unique issue to this series, it happens on a lot of procedurals, such as when FBI Season 7, Episode 8, Riptide wrote out the character of Ella after a storyline about Maggie Bell struggling to balance her career and family life. But it's a habit that Origins will want to break, because it's never good. The case of the week in Incognito is basically just filling in airtime, because the characters therein are barely developed and the case itself is quickly resolved in a conversation between Franks and Wheeler, in which Wheeler reveals that the bad guy confessed. The show has yet to find the balance between creating room for the character development moments it's trying for, and still leaving enough time to tell fully developed mysteries. It's something that will hopefully come with time, but it's important to master, particularly given the premise of this show. If Origins wants to show the important cases and developments that made Leroy Jethro Gibbs the fan-favorite hero he still is, years after Mark Harmon left NCIS, then the cases have to feel important and they have to be well-written enough to impact the audience. This isn't just a crime drama about a rookie agent, this is essentially Gibbs' greatest hits. Incognito is another episode where the story of the week needs more color. Between the thin plot and the disappointing execution of Lala's story, this is a miss on almost all counts. Its best aspect is watching the characters learn and improvise on the job, which is more fun and more memorable than anything else it's trying to impart. NCIS, Sydney Season 2 foot from cast to premiere date. He wasn't Mark Harmon or Michael Weatherly, but one actor, who was in over 300 episodes. Quitting NCIS really hit fans hard. A major NCIS exit shocked fans. One actor who appeared in over 300 episodes left, leaving a huge hole in the beloved show. NCIS has seen plenty of shakeups, but one exit really hit fans where it hurts. Nope, not Mark Harmon's Gibbs or Michael Weatherly's Tony. This was the low-key MVP who stuck around for over 300 episodes, keeping the show grounded without hogging the limelight. When they walked away, it wasn't just another, "oh well," cast change. It felt like a gut punch, leaving fans wondering how NCIS would even function without their steady presence. Erik Christian Olsen traded his NCIS LA badge for a producer's chair, and fans are still not over it. Erik Christian Olsen, aka Marty Deeks from NCIS Los Angeles, was a fan fave for over 300 episodes. But when Olsen decided to call it quits in 2023, fans were hit harder than expected. But here's the plot twist: Olsen didn't leave to kick back on a beach somewhere. He traded his detective badge for a producer's chair. His company, Cloud9 Productions, has been cooking up some seriously cool TV projects. A crime drama, Peculiar, a rom-com, Mixed Signals, and a Matlock reboot. I really wanted to do that experience because when you're working with writers, it's hard to say we need to implement X, Y, and Z if you've never done it, so you've got to sit down with an empty page and say, "I've got to tell a story." Guess he wanted to know what it's like to stare at a blank page and make TV magic. And while Sam Hanna, LL Cool J, is keeping the NCIS dream alive on NCIS Hawaii, Olsen is busy building his empire. No acting gigs lined up yet, but he's not slowing down. Producing is the new wave, and Olsen's riding it like a pro. Deeks may be gone, but Erik Christian Olsen's just getting started. Let's see what this next chapter looks like. Erik Christian Olsen dishes on his new TV passion after NCIS Los Angeles exit. Erik Christian Olsen isn't planning to reprise his NCIS Los Angeles role anytime soon. Despite fan hopes for a Deeks return, Olsen's more focused on producing Matlock. Olsen explained via GOTV, "I actively miss Todd, and I was texting with Renee, Felice Smith, this morning, and I see sister-in-law Daniela Rua all the time." Olsen caught up with NCIS co-stars Renee Felice Smith and Daniela Rua, but he's content with his new venture. This news came on the heels of Mark Harmon's return in the NCIS Origins spin-off, which will follow a young Leroy Gibbs, played by Austin Stoll. Why CBS canceled NCIS Hawaii? The NCIS franchise has said goodbye to some beloved shows in recent years. In 2023, NCIS Los Angeles ended after 14 seasons and 322 episodes, which is a great run for any TV show. Unfortunately, NCIS Hawaii didn't experience the same longevity as it was sent to the chopping block after 3 seasons in 2024. What's more, it never got the chance to deliver an all-time great series finale as no one expected it to be cancelled, so it bowed out with a frustrating cliffhanger. So, why did CBS decide to cancel the series? As documented by Variety, CBS Entertainment President Amy Reisenbach revealed that NCIS Hawaii was cancelled for a variety of reasons, with factors such as the Hollywood SAG-AFTRA strike and a desire to freshen things up among them. Here's what she had to say. "Everything came back from the Hollywood strikes really strong, but ultimately we have to look at the cohesiveness of the schedule flow." Why CBS cancelled NCIS Hawaii? The NCIS franchise has said goodbye to some beloved shows in recent years. In 2023, NCIS Los Angeles ended after 14 seasons and 322 episodes, which is a great run for any TV show. Unfortunately, NCIS Hawaii didn't experience the same longevity as it was sent to the chopping block after 3 seasons in 2024. What's more, it never got the chance to deliver an all-time great series finale as no one expected it to be cancelled, so it bowed out with a frustrating cliffhanger. So, why did CBS decide to cancel the series? As documented by Variety, CBS Entertainment President Amy Reisenbach revealed that NCIS Hawaii was cancelled for a variety of reasons, with factors such as the Hollywood SAG-AFTRA strike and a desire to freshen things up among them. Here's what she had to say. Everything came back from the Hollywood strikes really strong, but ultimately we have to look at the cohesiveness of the schedule flow. We have to evaluate the financials and the performance overall, and we make tough decisions. NCIS, Hawaii Season 3 boasted some strong ratings, with the show averaging over 5 million viewers most weeks. Unfortunately, solid ratings weren't enough to save it, and other hit shows were sent packing alongside the popular procedural. NCIS, Hawaii was the victim of a network purging. As previously mentioned, NCIS, Hawaii was cut due to CBS executives wanting to add new shows to the network's schedule. Fortunately for fans of the procedural franchise, some of those shows are part of the NCIS universe, including NCIS Sydney, NCIS Origins, and the upcoming NCIS Tony and Ziva spin-off series. Read more, https://www.slashfilm.com/1746721/y-cbs-canceled-NCIS-Hawaii television drama shows. Why CBS canceled NCIS, Hawaii? The NCIS franchise has said goodbye to some beloved shows in recent years. In 2023, NCIS Los Angeles ended after 14 seasons and 322 episodes, which is a great run for any TV show. Unfortunately, NCIS Hawaii didn't experience the same longevity, as it was sent to the chopping block after 3 seasons in 2024. What's more, it never got the chance to deliver an all-time great series finale as no one expected it to be cancelled, so it bowed out with a frustrating cliffhanger. So, why did CBS decide to cancel the series? As documented by Variety, CBS Entertainment President Amy Reisenbach revealed that NCIS Hawaii was cancelled for a variety of reasons, with factors such as the Hollywood SAG-AFTRA strike and a desire to freshen things up among them. Here's what she had to say. Everything came back from the Hollywood strikes really strong, but ultimately we have to look at the cohesiveness of the schedule flow. We have to evaluate the financials and the performance overall, and we make tough decisions. NCIS Hawaii Season 3 boasted some strong ratings, with the show averaging over 5 million viewers most weeks. Unfortunately, solid ratings weren't enough to save it, and other hit shows were sent packing alongside the popular procedural. NCIS Hawaii was the victim of a network purging. CBS. As previously mentioned, NCIS Hawaii was cut due to CBS executives wanting to add new shows to the network's schedule. Fortunately for fans of the procedural franchise, some of those shows are part of the NCIS universe, including NCIS Sydney, NCIS Origins, and the upcoming NCIS Tony and Ziva spin-off series. For the sake of comparison, CBS also made the shocking decision to cancel Tom Selleck's Blue Bloods around the same time fans learned NCIS Hawaii wouldn't be renewed. The cop show has been one of the network's biggest hits for over a decade, and there was a desire among cast and crew members to keep making new episodes. However, CBS felt change was needed and made the call to axe it. Similarly, CSI Vegas was canceled after 3 seasons in 2024, despite garnering strong ratings and being part of one of the network's tentpole franchises. Unlike the Blue Bloods, however, NCIS Hawaii never received an opportunity to end on its own terms. That's a shame, too, as the Season 3 finale created some interesting questions ahead of the once-planned 4th installment. NCIS Hawaii's cancellation shocked the show's creators. The final episode of NCIS Hawaii ends with Special Agent Jane Tennant, Vanessa Lachey, arriving home expecting to find her daughter waiting for her. Instead, she sees Maggie Shaw, Julie White, her mentor, waiting in the living room. Shaw tells Tennant to grab a drink after the concerned mother inquires about the whereabouts of her daughter, and the screen fades to black. It's a strong way to end a season and build anticipation for the next one, but showrunners Jan Nash, Christopher Silber and Matt Bosack told TV Line that they'd go about it differently now. If we'd known it was coming, we probably wouldn't have ended the series on a cliffhanger. The fact that the studio and the network didn't stop us makes it seem like they might not have seen it coming either. We loved our show and know other people loved it, too, but the TV business is a fickle mistress and one can't take business decisions personally. But it still stings. The creators teased that the disappearance of Tennant's daughter was connected to the agent's history as a spy, and would also have involved her mother. Unfortunately, fans will probably never get to see that story unfold on the screen, as the decision to cancel NCIS Hawaii appears to be final. Will NCIS Origins introduce other young versions of franchise characters from Gibbs' past? NCIS Origins has introduced younger versions of key characters from the Mark Harmon series, but are there plans for more surprise appearances? I don't want to give anything away with that, showrunner David J. North told TV Insider on Tuesday, December 24, before specifically referencing Lucas Dixon's cameo as Fornell earlier in the season. We really wanted to keep it secret about young Fornell appearing. I think it was better that we did that. NCIS Origins fans likely won't know ahead of time whether a familiar character would be popping up. People were really surprised. But I definitely saw on the internet there was a lot of talk after episode 6, North recalled. So we want to hold those, keep those close to the vest. How many NCIS shows are there? A complete guide to every Navy spin-off over the years. North went on to explain why Fornell crossed paths with Gibbs, Austin Stoll, and Franks, Kyle Schmid, so early in their journey, adding, "My co-showrunner Gina Lucida Monreal and I both really think it's poetic that Fornell appeared in the pilot of what was then Navy NCIS, and to bring him in early I think was really a no-brainer." He continued, "We would love to see young Fornell come back. And stay tuned. That might be happening sooner rather than later." NCIS Origins, which premiered in October, follows a young Gibbs, a role originated by Mark Harmon years prior to the events of NCIS. The new series picks up less than a year after Gibbs' wife and daughter were killed. During Season 1, Gibbs starts a new job as a special agent at the NIS Camp Pendleton office while still dealing with the aftermath of losing his family. Harmon made his NCIS debut as Gibbs in 2003 and played the lead role for 18 years. His final appearance aired in late 2021, and Harmon hasn't returned to the flagship show since. He did, however, sign on to be the narrator for the prequel series and has served as an executive producer on the project alongside his eldest son, Sean Harmon. Fall TV Preview 2024, Inside Must-Watch New and Returning Shows. It's a daunting task to recreate Gibbs and to go back and try to tell this story while being respectful to the fans and to the storyline of the original show, Stoll exclusively told Us Weekly in November. "We want to do our best job as actors, as artists, as writers and storytellers. While there could be a lot of pressure, Mark Harmon makes us feel so comfortable and he makes us feel justified in our decisions." The actor revealed that it didn't take long for Harmon to share his opinion about Stoll's performance. "He gave it to me right away in the room," Stoll quipped. "He was vocal about, maybe not what to do, but certainly, he was guiding me more in terms of posture and mindset, things that I've learned to inhabit all the more over time." Harmon, however, has never given Stoll any notes on his acting. "He leads by example. He's a guy who I've learned a lot more about being a human being than being Gibbs," Stoll continued. "He's been so welcoming, not just to me and not just to the rest of the cast, but the whole crew. He's really such a wonderful leader for us because he makes everybody feel so comfortable." Everything to know about CBS prequel series NCIS Origins focused on young Gibbs. While speaking with us, Stoll broke down his approach to playing Gibbs. Mark Harmon created this character that the world fell in love with. He did that for 20 years. I would be a fool not to try to take some of what he did and bring it to this version of Gibbs. But it would have been a mistake just to try to do an imitation of who he is as an actor and as a man, that it just didn't appeal to me to do that, he explained. I had to pluck out what mannerisms were going to be innate because there are certain body movements and just the way that Mark speaks. There's a certain pacing and volume to his speaking that is so unique to who he is. I certainly tried to inhabit some of those. Stoll continued, but it was more interesting to me what characteristics and what behaviors were going to be learned by Gibbs over the years. So that will be so much fun to allow those behaviors to blossom and allow the fans to see them come to life. NCIS, Tony and Ziva star reveals unique merch in latest filming update. NCIS, Tony and Ziva star Michael Weatherly, known for playing Special Agent Tony DiNozzo on NCIS, has given a highly anticipated update about the upcoming spin-off series. Set to premiere in 2025 on Paramount+, NCIS, Tony and Ziva follows the story of Tony DiNozzo and Ziva David, Cote de Pablo, the fan-favorite couple from the original series. But before the show hits streaming, Weatherly is sharing some exclusive merchandise with the fans. The actor recently took to Instagram to show off a pair of customized Adidas sneakers that have been crafted in collaboration with Superstar Budapest and Finest Art Shoes. In the picture, the actor is seen holding up what he calls a special pair of kicks. The shoes are dark blue with the lettering on the back featuring the words NCIS on one side and Tony and Ziva on the other. At this time, though, the custom-designed sneakers appear to be exclusive to the cast. NCIS, Tony and Ziva revolves around the titular couple and their daughter Tali, played by Isla Gie. After Tony's security company in Paris gets targeted by dangerous new enemies, the family is forced to live on the run and figure out who is after them. The upcoming show will follow a single case, as opposed to the episodic format of NCIS. NCIS, Tony and Ziva will also feature surprise cameos of younger versions of characters from the original show, including Gibbs, Austin Stoll, and Mike Franks, Kyle Schmid. Weatherly and DiPablo talk about reprising their iconic roles in October 2024. Michael Weatherly and Cote DiPablo talked about revisiting their NCIS characters after all these years. The duo portrayed longtime co-workers with undeniable chemistry on the hit crime drama for over a decade. According to DiPablo, it was a luxury to play Ziva David again, as reported by Variety. DiPablo left NCIS in 2013, and Weatherly departed 2 years later. In the show's story, Tony left the service to raise his and Ziva's daughter after her supposed death. However, it was later revealed that Ziva had only faked her death to protect her family. NCIS, Tony and Ziva picks up with the couple living in Europe as they navigate the challenges of their law enforcement past. While speaking to the crowd at MIPCOM, DiPablo admitted that she knew fans always wanted to know how the beloved couple was doing. She revealed that people never stopped asking her about the fate of her character, who has appeared as a guest on a few episodes since her official departure. In her words, Tony and Ziva are busy raising their teenage daughter and trying to make their relationship work. While speaking about playing Tony again, Weatherly joked that he had to lose a lot of weight. "We do a lot of running in production," confessed the actor. Weatherly added that the show's European setting is almost as important as the plot itself. However, when it comes to the show's storyline, Weatherly explained that the spin-off is about a family in jeopardy trying to do the right thing in hairy circumstances. NCIS, Tony and Ziva is expected to premiere in 2025 on Paramount+. An official release date for the show has not been released yet. NCIS, Sydney Season 2, Everything We Know About Cast, Premiere Date, Time and Where to Watch. The trailer for the second season of NCIS, Sydney introduces high-stakes investigations and dynamic team challenges. The team's interactions grow tense after uncovering Colonel Rankin as a threat within their ranks. Special Agent Michelle Mackey leads efforts to resolve the conspiracy involving Rankin's influence, which appears deeper than initially suspected. The team's unity will be tested as they navigate the challenges ahead. NCIS, Hawaii fans go wild over cast reunion after disappointing cancellation. Fans flooded the comments with words of support after Jason Antoon posted a group selfie on Instagram with his former NCIS, Hawaii castmates months after the spin-off series was canceled. Fans flooded the comments with words of support after Jason Antoon posted a group selfie on Instagram with his former NCIS, Hawaii castmates. The wildly popular police procedural spin-off was abruptly canceled after 3 seasons despite fan pleas to continue the show, making it the shortest-lived series in the NCIS franchise. Fans praised the series for its LGBT representation, diverse cast, and being the first female-led NCIS spin-off. The snap featured co-stars Vanessa Lachey, Noah Mills, and Tori Anderson with the caption, "Great group of people and well-missed cast of characters. Sadly missing a few of our NCIS Hawaii fam. Happy Hanukkah/Kwanzaa/Christmas a New Year." NCIS Hawaii star Vanessa Lachey overwhelmed by support for cancelled spin-off series. NCIS Los Angeles faces fan backlash as show is dubbed worst TV ever in season 14 reviews. Jason played Ernie Malik, a cyber intelligence specialist, on NCIS Hawaii. The show followed a fictional team of Naval Criminal Investigative Service agents working out of the Pearl Harbor field office led by Special Agent in Charge Jane Tennant, played by Vanessa Lachey, who investigate crimes related to national security and the military. Jason Antoon played cyber intelligence specialist Ernie Malik on NCIS Hawaii Image, CBS/Getty Images. The Instagram post's comment section was filled with fans who are still not over what happened. One commenter wrote, "Well, this made me emotional," while another user posted, "What a thrill to see them together again." One fan weighed in, "Sadly I miss the whole cast of NCIS Hawaii. It still makes me really sad and angry that your show was cancelled. Which NCIS spin-off is the best addition to the franchise?" NCIS Origins Season 1, Episode 5 Review. Mike Franks gets an underwhelming backstory. NCIS Origins Season 1, Episode 5, Last Rites, is still an origin story, but not for Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Instead, it takes a detour to explain a formative case in young Mike Franks' history, giving some further insight into Gibbs' boss and mentor. While the ability to push past Frank's cynical, hardened exterior is welcomed, the killer behind bars plot is overdone and too predictable to be exciting. Last Rites concerns a man whom Franks arrested for the murders of his wife and her boyfriend 6 years earlier. He was never able to recover the wife's body, and that's bothered him ever since, especially since he made a promise to her twin sister. With the killer about to be executed, Franks has one last opportunity to fulfill that promise. While NCIS Origins has followed some familiar paths, this one is so familiar that it doesn't even feel like an NCIS episode. NCIS Origins Episode 5 has nothing new to say. The case of the week has been done before. A lot. NCIS Origins relies on another familiar crime show idea in Episode 5, the killer who taunts the hero from behind bars, as the hero is forced to go along with them because of something that is wanted or needed. Audiences are used to these kinds of cat-and-mouse games thanks to the sheer volume of TV crime dramas these days. The specifics change a little, but the general theme and story is the same. One such example is Rosalind Dyer, the character played by the late Annie Wershing on The Rookie. A Season 2 episode involved Rosalind leading the heroes out to where she buried her victims. That's also what happens in Last Rites, as Franks and the team strike a deal for Dr. Albert Hope to take them to his wife's gravesite. The twist is that the body recovered doesn't belong to Anna, but that's not a shock for anybody who's noticed that the remains are recovered too early in the episode. The bulk of the story is Frank's back and forth with Hope, who works him up into a rage on multiple occasions while Hope himself remains disturbingly calm, because that's how these dynamics always play out. The predictability of the storyline doesn't diminish the effort put in by actor Kyle Schmid, who brings the intensity he displayed as Alex Calder in the underrated History Channel drama 6. But the audience already knows what Schmid is going to have to play before he gets there, whether it's rage, sadness, or the moment when he beats Hope, which of course happens at the last minute. Predictable plots can work, but only if the show using them adds something that makes the journey worthwhile, and the sole reason to dig into Last Rites is for Schmid's performance. There's nothing that makes this specific case unique to the NCIS universe. The script could easily be used on any other crime drama with just minor tweaking. NCIS Origins has often found little ways to make the familiar seem new, but it doesn't remember to do that in episode 5. NCIS Origins uses a familiar, yet effective parallel. Franks and Gibbs are contrasted through their partners. The subplot in Last Rites concerns Frank's partnership with Vera Strickland, or the lack thereof. Audiences learn that Franks worked the Hope case by himself because his team-up with Vera had ended shortly beforehand. That's a clear sign that the episode is going to dig into what went wrong between the two characters. Essentially, the majority of the team is getting a glimpse into who Franks was before they met him, while the show teaches Franks a lesson about being part of said team. This is a good idea, executed unevenly. Franks further upsets Vera when he cuts off her presentation about criminal profiling. Aside from profiling being one of the most overused words in the TV crime genre at the moment, it rings hollow. As Franks points out, while Vera's presentation is important to her, finding Anna's body is more important in the big picture. Her presentation isn't time-sensitive and it doesn't affect other people. Vera's upset feels overdone as a result, which makes the emotional resolution of the episode, that Franks puts in a good word about her project to their boss Cliff Wheeler, have little impact. He's righting a wrong that wasn't necessarily wrong in the first place. Mike Franks, I see you fine, Vera. Always did. But sometimes it ain't about you. What works better is the way NCIS Origins uses the struggles between Franks and Vera as a counterpoint to the growing partnership between Gibbs and Lala Dominguez. Gibbs has a moment where he pulls his weapon on two men who drive up on Lala and appear to be giving her a hard time, prompting her to confront him about his anger issues and say that she's required to report his outburst to Franks. But at the end of the episode, Lala walks back the latter statement. She also reveals what Gibbs' infamous psychological evaluation said, and encourages him to get help. They're building trust, as Franks and Vera are having to rebuild theirs. NCIS Origins Season 1, Episode 5 has a clear message. Audiences know the moral of this story. Last Rites telegraphs its underlying themes of teamwork and trust. It's obvious that Frank's team, not the man himself, will find the break in the case that leads to actually recovering Anna's body. That's how he is reminded of their value. After Season 1, Episode 4, All's Not Lost had Gibbs taking the step of accepting the team into his life by coming over to Frank's home for dinner. Episode 5 simply turns that idea the other way around. And by digging into Frank's old case together, the newer team members gain more perspective on and appreciation for their boss, as is only natural. A clear exchange of respect happens through this episode. It's great that NCIS Origins wants to provide more perspective on who Mike Franks is, especially since given his personality, he's the kind of character who's really easy to write into a corner. He could just be the cynical, world-weary tough guy. Audiences saw plenty of his snark when Muse Watson played him on NCIS. Last Rites at least gives Schmid the opportunity to puncture that outer shell in a few places, so his character feels even more well-rounded. There has to be a reason that the audience cares about Franks beyond his connection to Gibbs, and this episode provides some of that. But the character, and the actor playing him, would have benefited from a storyline that had at least some unique element to set it apart. NCIS, Origins Season 1, Episode 5, Last Rites is another hour that is missing that memorable hook. Like All's Not Lost, it has a great central performance, but aside from a few more facts about both Gibbs and Franks, there's nothing that makes the episode stick. The former episode at least had an emotional payoff that worked because it felt so specific to Gibbs' character. But in Frank's case, he's taking a journey that many other TV law enforcement officers have taken. And with as interesting a character as Mike Franks has proven to be, it's hard not to want to see something more off the beaten path. NCIS, Sydney Season 2 foot from cast to premiere date, everything you should know. The most loved investigative series, NCIS, Sydney, is back with Season 2 and the audiences are thrilled to know more about the Morgan O'Neill creation. Here's everything from the streaming date and platform to cast details you should know about this thriller series. When and where you can watch. Season 2 of this investigative show will start streaming from January 31st onwards at 8 p.m. ET. The show will be premiered on CBS. For those who want to watch the series from Season 1 onwards, it's available on the Paramount Plus platform. Introducing the cast. Fans of NCIS, Sydney can witness the familiar faces in the renewed season. Led by Todd Lazenz and Olivia Swan, Season 2 will comprise the actors Tully Narkle, Maverney Hazel, William McInnes, and Sean Sauger in significant roles. What to expect in Season 2? The trailer for NCIS, Sydney Season 2 promises an action-packed thriller. With the lead character's dialogue, it's time to think outside the box. Surely, genre lovers can expect more interesting and intelligent plots in the second season. The trailer also suggests that the second season of this action flick will be exploring the idea of trusting one's instinct and going to great extents. Overall, Season 2 will be a complete package that will hold to its first season. The caption shared by the makers read, "Dive back into the high-stakes world of international crime solving with NCIS, Sydney Season 2. Starring Olivia Swan, Todd Lazenz, and William McInnes, this thrilling CBS cop drama takes the action down under, where the elite team of investigators tackles new cases that test their skills, loyalty, and resolve. With a mix of gripping storytelling, stunning Australian backdrops, and the chemistry fans love, the new season promises more twists, turns, and heart-pounding moments. Get ready for the premiere on January 31st, streaming on Paramount Plus and airing on CBS. Your next mission awaits. NCIS, Sydney Season 2, everything we know about cast, premiere date, time and where to watch. The trailer for the second season of NCIS, Sydney introduces high-stakes investigations and dynamic team challenges. The team's interactions grow tense after uncovering Colonel Rankin as a threat within their ranks. Special Agent Michelle Mackey leads efforts to resolve the conspiracy involving Rankin's influence, which appears deeper than initially suspected. The team's unity will be tested as they navigate the challenges ahead. Cast. Familiar faces will return for the new season. Olivia Swan and Todd Lazenz reprise their roles as leads, supported by Sean Sauger as Agent Jackson, Tully Narkle as Constable Cooper, Maverney Hazel as Bluebird, and William McInnes as forensics expert Roy. Also read, The Residents, murder mystery drama's release date, where to watch, plot, cast and production team. Premiere date, time and where to watch. Season 2 will debut on CBS on Friday, January 31st, 2025, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Fans can revisit Season 1 episodes on Paramount Plus, which first premiered in 2023 to strong ratings. First look. The trailer highlights the team's pursuit of new adversaries. Scenes showcase the picturesque Sydney backdrop juxtaposed with intense action, including explosions and high-speed chases. Special Agent Mackie and Sergeant J.D. Dempsey take center stage as they seek to uncover a rogue assassin's identity. Also read, Disney Plus January 2025 lineup, see complete list. Anna, a prisoner who escaped in the Season 1 finale, might reappear to complicate matters. Her previous revelations about a mole in the team add intrigue to ongoing investigations. Additionally, the premiere's storyline teases the hunt for a rogue assassin, described as someone worth waking the dead to catch. FAQs. When does NCIS, Sydney Season 2 premiere? The new season begins on January 31, 2025, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Where can I watch Season 1 of NCIS, Sydney? All episodes from the first season are available for streaming on Paramount+. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.